Hello, thank you for joining today. I'm very excited to present some ideas that you can use if you want to arrange or reimagine a melody. And we're going to use Lagrima as the case study. Just the first little part of Lagrima here. Okay, so what can we do? So if we have a melody like this, especially if it has some, accompaniments and chords as well, even if it doesn't have chords, you can still use a lot of these ideas, but if it does make it a bit easier. So what you can do is you can borrow textures from other pieces of music and apply them to your chosen melody. So in this case, to Lagrima. So here we're combining two well-known pieces, Recuerdos de la Alhambra, which is a tremolo texture, with Lagrima. So if you have this texture and apply it to Lagrima, that works really nicely. It makes a beautiful variation or reimagines the melody. So there's one texture. Here's another one. This one's based on Spanish Romance. So if we use that texture, and now notice that in the second bar, I have to be a little bit more creative than in the first bar, where you can really match the texture. But here, because the melody does sustain, doesn't move anymore, it's not plucked anymore, you've got some different options there, but still deriving the texture from Spanish Romance. So two very different textures. Here's another one. This is from Saw's Grand Solo. I will point out that this was done in a live workshop, in a group workshop through my online school, the Creative Classical Guitarist. So we were all in a group together, and I was just asking people, can you think of ways to reimagine Lagrima? So someone came up with Recuerdos de la Alhambra, someone else said Spanish Romance, and then another member suggested Saw's Grand Solo, and this particular section here, which sounds like this. So we take that type of texture and apply it to Lagrima. Now we're going to put the melody in the bass, and we get something like this. Really beautiful texture that you get there. You also have to be a little bit creative with the time signature. This one is in 4/4. Lagrima is in 3/4. So sometimes you have to adapt things a little bit, but a lot of the times it's fairly quick to it's fairly quick to create a new texture like that. This one is a more modern example here by Philip Houghton. This piece called Kinkajou, I Love You. Sounds like this. A really beautiful texture that's used throughout most of that piece. So yeah, tuned the sixth string up to F there. Now if we apply that to Kinkajou, we have to put the melody in the middle. Notice how the melody in the original here is in the middle. We need to put the melody into the middle and sort of, use a similar sort of arpeggio texture. And this is what we get. This one's probably one of my favorites. I really like this one. I think that's gorgeous texture there. And then another suggestion was, this was a bit more loose, not based on a particular piece, but to use Ruschiato. So how can you harmonize Lagrima using Ruschiato, strumming? Well, you have to think about where you're going to put the melody. Now, so again, I'm putting the melody in the middle. I've highlighted it green there, just to make that clear. So it's in the middle, the A, the G sharp, A, and the B. Well, in this case, I've just got the G sharp and the A, but we can keep going. I've only got a little excerpt of it here. So, what have we got? Something like that. I mean, you can modify the chords as you like. Yeah, but the general idea of strumming like that, I think, leads to a pretty cool effect. And here is a famous, the prelude of all preludes, Bach's prelude from Cello Suite Number 1. So that one. So if we apply that texture to Lagrima, again, we're going to be a bit flexible at that point, but all right, beautiful. As well, very contrasting texture. And then we've got a couple from Villa-Lobos. So this one here, the Villa-Lobos Prelude Number 2, which that's the A section, the B section. That kind of texture. Apply that to Lagrima. Again, you've got to think about where we're going to put the melody. Here we can put the melody in the bass and the top just to make it really stand out. So okay, so there we go. Yet another really full and unique texture there compared to all of the others. And then Villa-Lobos Prelude Number 1. Okay, so this time we can even put it into the minor key. So transposing from E major to E minor, putting the melody in the bass, and then using a similar texture. So you can even improvise with these ideas a little bit and see what sort of falls on the instrument, falls on your fingers naturally as you're using these textures. So that's just a few there, and I think it really opens up a lot of possibilities. And you can imagine, I mean, maybe you can think of some ways to reimagine Lagrima or a melody of your choice using this similar method. Think of another piece that you know on the guitar and plug in that texture. And you're not stealing. The tremolo. Torrega didn't steal the tremolo, or Barrios didn't steal the tremolo texture. It's just a musical texture. It's just a common guitar texture, and a lot of these are sort of common guitar textures that you can borrow, that you can use, that have been used by many composers of the past. And So it's a really great way to reimagine or to arrange a melody onto the guitar. So hope that's been of bit of food for thought for you, and love to, if you're interested in learning more of this type of creative work, I've got my online school, the Creative Classical Guitarist, and we have members submitting videos, beautiful, and that's a video of myself. We have there's another video. We have people submitting arrangements. So Eli is a member he is 11 years old and a child prodigy, really. And this is his work that he did based on these ideas. So we have a whole bank of textures here. We had the great privilege to hear Eli play through these yesterday during the workshop. Probably one of the core features of this, aside from all we have regular live workshops, but this is a really core part of it. The 7 steps, where we have goals and projects. So write out your desired goals, form a routine, and then you have a sight reading course that you can go through step by step, a university that you can go through step by step to learn the basics of technique, harmony, and style, a composition course, a 4-step method to compose, harmonization course, so similar-ish ideas to what we've talked about here, and then tasks based on specific aspects of harmony, like compose a piece using 7th chords, or compose a piece using augmented 6th chords, that kind of thing. So we have 7 steps and then 7 exercises. So you can just click on these. If you remember, you can just click on these, and some of these were actually created by CCG members. So I click on this here and we get Italian augmented 6th chord progressions in common guitar keys. This was done by Eli again. So we get to my knowledge, there is no resource like this for the classical guitar where you have augmented 6th chords in different keys. And if you don't know what augmented 6th chords are, there's information. I think we did numerous sessions on these. German augmented 6th chord progressions, guitar, French augmented 6th chords. So that's just a little quick look into the Creative Classical Guitarist and the types of things we do. So we spent, just to give you a bit of context as to where this came from with Reimagining Lagrima, we spent we had 4 sessions. They were done by a guest teacher, Malcolm, and we had 4 sessions. And the 4th session, these are the types of ideas we covered. But in the previous 3, we covered things like melodic development. So it was actually something else we did, but I didn't want to do this today because I think it would take too much time. But different ways of developing and like reordering, restructuring notes. And you end up with music that is based on a particular melody, but you wouldn't know it, really. Things like inversion and retrograde and imitation, polyrhythms, and we talked about modes, and we talked about extended chords, 7th, 9th, 11th, and 13th. So it was really fantastic. Lots of fuel to fuel your creativity. So that's a little bit about CCG, and there is some food for thought about reimagining a melody or arranging a melody for the guitar. So love to see your work. You can follow the link if you're interested in joining the school. You can just subscribe to my channel if you want some more content. You can visit my website, danielnistico.net, where I've got lots of method books and free content as well you can check out. And hope to see you around. Thank you.